Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a quick tutorial over the new Profex 2 application that will be used from now on to apply to NALCAP. They just came out with this update to Profex this year, and I've got a video going through how to apply on the old Profex platform, but I thought I'd go ahead and do another video on this new platform since that will be what is used moving forward. There's not a lot of differences. If you've already watched my previous video on the original Profex platform, then you'll probably be fine. It's not super difficult. Just open the new handbook and go through it. But in this video, we're going to go ahead and go through the handbook for the new Profex 2, and hopefully that will be helpful for anybody who applies now and in the future. Okay, you guys, so we're here on the NALCAP website homepage under the general information. On the left-hand side, we want to go over to where it says applying to NALCAP. So we click on that, and this is going to take us to the page that we need to be on. Here, under where it says Getting Started, the 2024 cycle, updated information, there are two things that we want to look at real quick. We want and they are the bottom two. Okay, where it says the How to Register on Profex, I'm going to open that in a new tab, and I'm also going to open the last one, the new Profex 2 handbook. I'm going to open that in a new tab. As far as actually getting to Profex, from here, we're going to scroll down, and then where it says Apply on Profex, that's a link, so we can click on that link, and it will take us to Profex. And this is where you're going to go in and set up all of your stuff and log in and do all your application. But for this video, I'm going to run through the handbook because it's actually the handbook that's going to tell you what you need to do, what you don't need to do, and all those things. Okay, so I'm going to walk us through the handbook, and then that will be your guide for when you actually go in and do this. Okay, so the first one that we want to look at is the How to Register on Profex. Okay, so we open two tabs. Okay, we open the Profex 2 handbook, and we open the How to Register. The How to Register is the first step. Okay, this is what you should have done. Right now, I'm making this video at the end of February, and I would say that most of the people that have applied to this cycle for the NALCAP program have probably already applied by now. But I'm making this video for future audiences. But if you're watching this and you're in the process of doing this for this year, for the 2024 to 2025 cycle, you should have already done this by now. But anyways, that being said, how to register on Profex, whether you've done it or not, here we go. So this is just basically how to set up your Profex portal, how to basically create your own little account, which you will then use to apply. Okay, so we scroll down, it's got a little table of contents. This little guide is super short, okay? So we want to go into Profex, and you're going to click on the mantenimiento de CV, okay, where this page pops up. And then you're going to go in, and if you already have an account, you're going to click Access. If you don't have an account, you're going to click Regístrese, okay, register. Now that I'm thinking about this though, when we clicked on that link, here's the Profex portal, it didn't even take us to that first page. Okay, this page didn't even pop up. So this might pop up, it might not. Where it says Mantenimiento de CV. On Profex 1, it did pop up, but it didn't pop up just now. So if we go back to, this is the NALCAP page, if we click on Profex, no, it didn't pop up. So you may not even need this first part about the mantenimiento del CV. But if it does pop up, just click on it, okay? And then this is the page that we were looking at, okay? And if you have an account already, then you're just going to enter your information and your password and then log in. But we're at this moment talking about registering, so we're talking about before you have an account. So here you're going to go in and you're going to click Regístrese. Okay, going to click on Registro de Persona Física. When we click on that, you're going to come in and you're going to fill out all of this information. Okay, so this is actually on the Profex portal. If I switch back now to the handbook, okay, and we scroll down, it's going to walk you through this. This is what we just looked at, Registro de Persona Física. And then we're going to go down, and it's going to tell you exactly what you need to do here. Okay, read all of the information in red. That's super important stuff in this handbook. And then here's where it's going to tell you what you need to do. So, nombre, that's your name. first name and middle name. Primer apellido, that's your last name. For most Americans, you're only going to have one last name. For people who are of a Hispanic or Latin American descent, you probably have two last names. So there's a spot for primer apellido y segundo apellido. For the majority of people, you're just going to put your first last name because you won't have a second last name. Your document type, okay, you're going to select other, or in Espanol, that would be otro, okay, other. The number of your document, you're going to put your passport number, okay? The number of support, or whatever those acronyms mean, you don't do anything. You leave that blank. Contraseña, that's your password, okay? That's Spanish for password. You're going to enter a password that this is what you're going to use to log in, so make sure that you remember your password. Okay, you're going to repeat the password. Repite contraseña. Okay, then you're going to put your email address. All right. They suggest not using a college email address because they can expire and go bad and just be deactivated over time. Use one that you have good access to. Use a personal email address. It just makes things simpler because you will get emails. Okay, so you need to be able to know when those happen. That's super important. So put in an email address that's not a junk email address and that you're going to check regularly. Repeat the email address in the next box, and then put in your cell phone number, okay? Teléfono móvil, cell phone number with U.S. area code, okay? So that's the first bit. That's this page right here. So all of this stuff. The only thing you're going to leave blank is this one right here, the número de soporte, and then whatever those things are. You're going to ignore that. But all the other stuff, you're going to put it in. Remember on the tipo documento, this type of document, you're going to put other, put your passport number, do all that good stuff. Super, super simple. At the bottom here, you're going to click on the box basically saying that all the information is correct and true, and then you're going to click accept, and it's going to take you to the next thing. So, this is standard, typical, put in your personal information when you sign up for something. Very simple, but do it exactly as the handbook tells you to. Okay, super important. So we'll get on them, click on the little box, all the information is true, click accept, and we're going to go to the next step. From here, you're going to go through and just confirm that everything is correct. Okay, it's going to show everything. It's going to show your information of the user information, información del usuario. Okay, nombre, that's name, primer apellido, first last name, segundo apellido. If you have a second last name, if you don't, that should be blank. Okay, información para el acceso al sistema usuario. That's basically your username, I suppose. Información para la notificación al usuario, okay, cell phone number. So it's just going to pop up. It's going to populate with the info you put in. Make sure it's correct, and then click confirm. Step 5, you're going to receive an email to activate the account, right? And then as soon as you do it quickly. It says if your account is not activated within 24 hours, you will have to register all over again. So it should come pretty quickly in the email. All right, you're going to click on the blue link in the email, and then once that, you have activated your account. Congratulations. Very simple. You're just creating the account that you're going to use to apply. Okay, so we're going to close out of that, and now we're going to go to actually applying. So all of this registering, hopefully you did, or hopefully you will do to those of you in future application cycles before the applications actually open, because the applications go super fast. People every year, whenever they're applying for this, they get on, and this like the second the application's open, they're in there and they're applying. And if you want to get guaranteed a placement, and if you want to get the region that you want, because you get to select the region that you would prefer to be in Spain, if you want the region that you want, then you need to get a low application number, especially if you want Madrid. So basically all that goes to say that you need to apply fast like everybody else, not waste time. So you need to have all this done before the application's open if that's important to you. So now we're going to go to the new Profex 2 handbook. So we've registered our account in Profex 2, and now we're going to actually look at how to apply, the steps for applying. Again, I can't go back and redo all this. This year I'm a renewal, and I will be making a video that will be the next video, I suppose, about how to renew. But I can't walk you through this step by step literally in my own account, because I just can't. I'm not at that phase anymore. But we're going to walk through this handbook, and this is the handbook that you need to have open in another tab, just like I do right now when you're going through this process and looking at what to do. But it's pretty straightforward. And as I mentioned at the beginning, if you've already watched the other video that I made, if you've already watched the first Profex video I made on Profex, the type 1 version, then this is pretty much the same. Okay, so here we go. Profex 2. All right, this is just table of contents. You can click here and it'll take you directly to the page if if you had to stop and come back later. So if you just want to jump ahead to a specific part, you can click here on the table of contents and it'll take you there. But going down, it talks about registering. We just went through that. Okay, accessing Profex 2. Okay, you're going to go into that page that we were looking at. Okay, and you're going to enter in your usuario, your username, which will be your passport number. That's what that's going to be. And then the password that you made, you're going to click access. Okay, and it's going to bring you in to the system. Once we get in, we're going to go to Mi Perfil. That's my profile. So you're going to see these tabs here at the top where it says Inicio, that's start or beginning. Mi Perfil, my profile. Mis solicitudes, that's my applications, and Cambiar idioma. Ignore the last one, cambiar idioma. Okay, that's change language. We don't need to change language. Okay, so the only things that we're going to deal with are inicio, mi perfil, and maybe mis solicitudes if you get started and have to come back later. Okay, so my profile, mi perfil. That's where we're going to click, and when you do that, you're going to see all these tabs that are here in yellow. I don't remember them being yellow on the actual website, but anyways, here in the handbook they're in yellow. Whatever color that they're in, these are where you're going to put in a lot of your personal info. Other things than what you put in when you registered, but it's basically still just more personal information. You're going to have these tabs. We're going to have to go through and do each of these and then, move on to the next thing. Okay? Datos generales, that's general information. Direcciones, address. Formación académica, that's basically education. Formación permanente, just leave this one blank. I didn't put anything here, but in this handbook doesn't really say anything about it, so we're not really going to do anything there. Experiencia docente, also not really going to do much there. Idiomas, that's language, and then documentos anexos, basically other documents that need to be used in this process, so like your statement of purpose and your letter of recommendation, etc., etc. Okay, so you're going to go through each of these and look for what it asks for, and then you're going to upload the necessary document into that spot. So, in datos generales, okay, that's just general information. Emergency contact info, phone number, email, all that kind of stuff. Super important, keep it up to date. You can always come back later and click modify if something changes. If you get a new phone number or you're, for some reason need to put in a new email or whatever. All right, make sure that you click your nationality or you put in your nationality. I'm assuming that the majority of my audience here are Americans. Maybe not, but so make sure you put in United States. Okay, address, put in your permanent address in the United States where you receive mail. Super important. Academic background, put in whatever degree it is that you have, or if you're still undergoing a degree program and taking a break to this program, indicate that. And then you will put in the document, you will upload the document that you have proving that, so transcripts or your diploma or whatever. And if you put in multiple degrees like undergrad, master, PhD, whatever, you're going to have to put in the documents for each one of those to prove that what you're claiming is correct. Okay? And languages, the languages tab, again, I assume that my audience here is primarily Americans, and even if not Americans, I would assume it's probably British, Australian, or at least coming to this program to be an English language assistant, so you're going to put English. Okay? Attached documents, that is the documentos anexos, the last one here. And again, like I said, if you notice, it's skipped right over formación permanente and experiencia docente. So you're just not going to put anything there. Ignore those tabs. Okay? And then documentos anexos, that's, additional documents. Okay? That's, again, going to be your reference letters, passport, scan, what was the other one? statement of purpose or motivational letter, whatever they call it. That's where you're going to upload all of those. And you're going to have all these uploaded before you get into the actual application process, which is what we're going to now. After you've done all that, you're going to go to Inicio Home. So that first little set of tabs that we looked at, where we clicked on Mi Perfil, my profile, we're going to go back there and we're going to click on Inicio. Okay, Inicio, that's initial, at the beginning, the start. And when we do that, we're going to get into the actual application, okay? Once you click that, you're going to see this little box pop up. It says 2024-2025 Auxiliares de Conversación Extranjeros en España. Now, if you're watching this video in 2025 or 2026 or 27 or 28 or in future years, it's not going to say 2024 or 2025, obviously. It's going to say whatever years it is that you're going to be applying for. Now, again, this video is being made for those of you who have never done this before. So, with that in mind, you want to make sure you click solicitar. Okay, renovar, for those of you that don't speak Spanish, means renew. That's for somebody like myself who's already in the program right now and wanting to do it again. I'm going to be making a video about renewing next, but that's not this video. This video is if this is your first time doing this program, so you're going to click solicitar. And we're going to open you up into the general requirements, blah, 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 blah. Basically, it's going to ask you some questions. You're going to click yes or no, and you're going to upload the document, or you're going to, select the document from those that you have already uploaded to prove what you say is true. So, for example, right here, the first question, and I don't know how well you can see it. I'll try to zoom in a little bit more. It says, tener nacionalidad de alguno de los siguientes países, Australia, Brasil, blah, 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 blah. Do you have nationality in one of these countries? And you're going to click yes. And then the little drop-down menu where it says Documento Justificativo, that's basically your proof, okay, that what you're saying is true, that you do have nationality in one of these. You're going to select your passport, your scan of your passport page. And if you don't meet the requirement, then I'm not sure what you're doing here watching this video. But hey, whatever floats your boat. But you're going to go through these. Again, the next question, tener un título universitario o ser estudiante universitario al menos de segundo curso. Basically, have you graduated from university, or are you currently enrolled in university with at least having the second year done? And then you're going to click on Documento Justificativo, which is either going to be your transcripts if you're still in college, haven't graduated yet, or your diploma. Okay, so click yes, select your document, and then we're going to keep going. And this is why you had to upload before, because when you click on this drop-down menu, it's only going to pop up. You're not going to upload your document here. You've already uploaded it. And what's going to do is when you click on this drop-down menu, it's going to let you select from the documents that you uploaded. So if you don't have this uploaded, then you're going to have to go back to where we were before and upload that document and come back and do this again. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. Okay, so remember that you need a valid passport, university degree, or official academic certification, signed motivational letter, and a reference letter. Those 4 things, okay, at this stage of the application. Number 7, disponer de un certificado negativo de delitos de naturaleza sexual, okay? This is going to be basically, have you committed sexual crimes in the past, okay? If you have, then you're not going to be able to do this program, okay? You need to indicate that you meet certain requirements without the need to include documentation, being of legal age, not suffering mental illness, blah, 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 okay? The third one says a certificate from the Spanish Sex Offender Registry. I actually just made a video about that. My video before this was about that. When you come to Spain, you're going to have to just complete like a really simple background check to make sure that you don't have any you don't have any records saying that you've committed sex crimes in Spain. Okay. Now, before you come to Spain, you're going to have to get an FBI background check and do all that. And I've got videos already on that process. But this is for after you come to Spain, because the FBI background check obviously doesn't check any history that you might have out of the United States. So, anyway, it seems like excessive, and it kind of is, but it is what it is. So don't worry about that. This third one, you'll do that once you get to Spain. If you're just dying to know more about it, then you can go watch the video that I just put out before this one a couple of weeks ago, and I'll talk a little bit more about it. Okay. When you're finished with all this, you're going to click Save or Guardar. Guardar is, like to put away, to save. You're getting a little bit of some Spanish lessons in here at the same time. Okay. Then go to the top and click on the tab labeled Datos de Interés. So basically other, important information. This is where it says right here, okay? If we zoom in right here, this is what you should be seeing. Okay, so we have requisitos, datos de interés, destinos, autorizaciones, y resumen. So we're going to go through and do each of these things. All right, we're going to click on datos de interés, other relevant information. What idioma do you want to teach? You need to put English, and you have to select it. All right, you're going to scroll down and click Save. That's it. Now, destinations, you're going to go to the next tab. Destinos. This is where you're going to select your preferred region to be in for this program. And the way you're going to select it is you're going to select it by autonomous community, and then you're going to select, your preferred population size of your specific location. So if you want to be in a big city, if you want to be in like a medium-sized town or like a small village or whatever. Now, this is something that is a little bit different from Profex 1 on how this goes about, and this is actually better. Honestly, everything about Profex 2 is pretty much better. It seems a little bit more straightforward, but this is a little bit different. What you're going to do is it's actually going to pop up with this right here on this screen, okay, with this box, and you're going to see a box that says España, and you're going to see one that says Andorra. And Andorra is not Spain. For those of you that don't know geography, Andorra is a teeny tiny country that's on the border between France and Spain. I'm not sure why it pops up here. I don't know if Andorra has some sort of program where they use the Profex portal too, and therefore Profex just automatically is in there. I don't know. But you're going to click No on Andorra. We're not going to Andorra, okay? Maybe on vacation, but we're not going to be in Aux in Andorra. So click No under Andorra. And you want to click Sí or Yes under Spain where it says Solicitar. And what this box is trying to show you is that you need to click in the general area of where Spain is and drag it to the top. Okay, so for example, what do I mean? What I mean is that when I did this, when I was renewing, I had to do this too, and Andorra was on top, and then the Spain was on bottom. España was on bottom. So, okay, so not like you see on the screen. The Andorra spot was on top. So you click on Spain and drag it to the top above Andorra. Okay? And then we're going to go through and select the actual destination. So here's what it looks like. Now, what is kind of mildly frustrating, it's not a big deal, but is that they group the autonomous communities. So Spain is grouped. Spain doesn't have states like the United States. They have autonomous communities, but it's basically the same idea. There are different regions within the country, and so you're going to click which community, autonomous community, you want to be placed in. But they're grouped into 3 groups, and I don't see any rhyme or reason to how they grouped these. Maybe there is, but it seems kind of random. You can only select one from each group. So as we see here on the screen, this person has selected Andalucía from Group C, La Rioja from Group A, and Cantabria from Group B. Now, I'll say this again, you can only select one from each group. You cannot select, for example, right here, Andalucía and Castilla y León are both in Group C. You cannot select those both. So if that was like your number 1 and number 2 desired place, sorry, you're going to have to figure out a different number 2, okay? You're going to select one from each one, and then you're going to click and drag again. Instead of up and down, though, you're going to click and drag left to right. And the one that this is super important, don't mess this up. The one that you want the most needs to be farthest left. So for example, on the screen, this person on the example wants Andalucia. That's their number one preference to be placed there. Their number two is La Rioja, and their number three is Cantabria. It says it right here. Move the group of regions. The one on the left will be the main preference, and the one on the right will be the least preferred option. Select one region in each group. Okay, so if you want Madrid, then that's in Group C. You're going to click Group C on Madrid, and you're going to move it all the way to the left. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, just make sure that you put it in the right order, left to right, and click on the correct ones that you want. Just unrelated to the application itself, I'll just simply tell you that Madrid is the most popular out of all of them. So if you're wanting Madrid, then you need to apply fast, like the second application's open. Andalucia, in Andalucia, the past few years, the Auxes have been able to actually pick where. Andalucia is huge. Okay, it's the largest community. It's basically the entire south of Spain. That's maybe a little bit exaggerated, but it's a big community. And so, I don't know if it's due to the size, but the last couple of years, the Auxes have actually been able to pick their school, which means that they can actually pick which town specifically they want. So that's pretty cool. But I would say those are the two that have the most Auxes. You can go on the NALCAP homepage, and I'll just show you right here. Back where we clicked on the Profex link, you can see this is how many placements were put in each region for this cycle. And then next year it'll show the coming cycle and how many. So it actually looks like Andalucia got the most placements this past year, just by a few. But Madrid and Andalucia are definitely the highest, and then followed by Valencia, which had actually quite a few as well. But anyway, back to the application process. Okay, make sure again at each of these stages you scroll down and click Save. You click Guardar. Then we're going to go back to the top and click on Summary or Resumen. So right here where we have the tabs, you're going to click on the last one, Resumen. It's just review, and you're going to go through and it's going to show you everything that you've done or haven't done. Now there's a key here. It's not necessarily correct or wrong. It's filled in or not filled in. So if it's been filled in, then it's going to have a green arrow. If it hasn't been filled in, it's going to have a red X. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it needs to be filled in. For example, let's see. See right here where it says some data may appear with a red X if it's not filled in. Don't worry, it's not necessarily incorrect. It simply indicates an unfilled field. So if there was something that you didn't need to do or complete, then and I remember there was something. Oh, for example, right here, if you are not doing this program with a spouse, wife or husband or whatever, then this number 3 right here is going to be red X'd because this only applies to if you're doing this as a couple. So that's not going to be green. Now, if you are doing it as a couple, then it will be green, but most people do not. So anyway, going to go through. It's going to show you all the things you've done, all the things we just walked through, your regions. I encourage you to go back through all of it and read it carefully before you submit, because once you submit, you can't change it. Anyway, so you're going to go through. Once you do all that, you're going to click Submit Application or Presentar Solicitud. Okay, Submit Application, which is going to be at the bottom. Confirmation prompt is going to appear, and then you're going to click Yes or Sí. If you click No, then you can continue editing. But once you click Yes, then it's in like Flynn, as they say. This is the box that's going to pop up. Aviso de confirmación. Una vez presentada la solicitud no se podrá modificar. That is, once you have submitted this application, it will not be able to be modified. Seguro que quiere continuar? Click Sí. You've submitted. Check status of your application. You can go to now Mis Solicitudes. Okay, that tab we talked about before. And this is where it's going to show you this good stuff right here. Once you submitted, you're going to have this pop up under Mis Solicitudes, and you're going to have this number right here, and most of it is pointless for our purposes. The 24 at the beginning, that's this cycle, the the cycle of auxes. So the 24-25 year, that's why it starts with 24. Last year it started with 23. The AEX, that's auxiliar extranjero. The A is auxiliar, EXT extranjero. Okay, that is a foreigner. Okay, extranjero is a foreigner. Foreign aux coming to this program, whatever. I actually don't know what the 0421 means. But then after that, all of the zeros and then the 1, that is your number. That is the order in which you applied compared with everybody else. So, for example, this is like zeros and then 1. That means that this person was the very first person to apply. Now, this is just the example they gave. But let's say that the last 3 numbers are 351. You have a bunch of zeros and you have 351. That means that you were the 351st person to submit their application. Let's say that you have a couple of zeros and then 4263. That means that you're the 4,263rd person to apply. That's what that means. Right next to that, you're going to have the status. En revisión is what this one says. That means that it's waiting to be reviewed. As it goes through the process, this status will change. And it should talk about that down here. Okay, this is the statuses. Once received by program managers, your application may change to the following statuses. If it says admitida, that means that your application has all of the, you meet the requirements to participate in this program. That does not mean that you are going to be given a spot. It just means that at the initial review of it, they have approved the application. There's nothing else you need to do. You're good to go, okay, and hopefully get a placement. The next one says excluida subsanable. Correctable exclusion. That basically means that you're missing something or did something wrong and you need to go back and fix it and resubmit so that they can review it again. Excluded or excluida, okay? You do not meet one of the requirements and basically you can't do this program. Something is not gelling and you've been excluded from the program. So that would be kind of depressing. Okay, eventually you will be, if you get a placement, you will be contacted and you will be able to go in and accept the placement. And then it will say, the status will change again. That is assuming that this still works the same as before. The status will change then to plaza aceptada. That will be at the point in which you have a spot in the system. But you do need to be making sure to regularly check your email. You cannot afford to go a long time and not check your email in this process because it's going to tell you if your status changes. You're going to get an email. So there are people who have not checked their email and it's kind of gotten them into a difficult situation because eventually when you do get offered a placement, you'll have 3 days. You'll have 3 days to accept it. And there are a lot of people who don't check their email and the 3 days pass and they didn't accept it. And then they have to try and like send their email real fast to see if they can still take it. Now, some people, they let them through, but don't be that person. Okay. Don't run the risk. If that happens, you did miss the 3 days and they could just as well tell you, sorry, you should have been paying attention. Make sure you're checking an email. If you get an email from Profex or something to do with Spain, check your Profex, see if your status is changed, and make sure it's not excluida subsanable, which means that you need to change something. Okay, well, that's pretty much everything for the new Profex 2 portal and handbook. Okay, you guys, thanks for watching this video. I did want to go ahead and do this and throw this out there since Profex has been updated and put this out there for future applicants. So hopefully this was helpful for you. If this is your first time on the channel and you like this content, please show support, hit that like or subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments below, and stay tuned if you're a renewal. I will be putting a renewal video up here within the next day or two and going through that process. So, till next time, take care.